Okay, got it. Hello and welcome to what is hopefully the first of many videos on a build series on that, my 1985 350X. Now most of these videos will just be kind of chopped together. It's just whatever I happen to record. Hopefully it's something you can learn from and see for yourself if you want to dive into one of these yourself. Mostly it's just for fun. A lot of it will just be me and my buddies dicking around in the background, having a good time. So first things first, part one of this is going to be installing a BVC TRIKES front end kit that adapts to 04 and 09 CRF 450 shocks. It does adapt to 250 shocks as well. I went with 450s because they're stiffer suspension for a heavier unit like that, which is not a dirt bike, as you can tell. Is going to be better weight-wise and for taking jumps and things of that nature. So I've got the new shocks. They don't come with the kit. The kit only comes with the triple trees. You can buy a full kit, but it's way more expensive. I don't have that kind of dinero. So I've got the bought everything else separate. I've got the shocks. I've got the brake rotors. I've got even the plastics for it. And if we get around to it, I have a set of handguards off of an Africa Twin that I snagged from a customer of ours who do not want those anymore at the shop I work at. So without further ado, let's get this on the lift and tear into it. Now, if you are lifting your machine up like this and you're going to take anything off the front end, obviously it'll be taking off weight, so it will tip it'll tip back and fall. You don't want that to happen. So what I like to do, take a wood block under the tire, or if you have another jack or a jack stand under back here somewhere on a surface that isn't going to hinder your work, whatever you're doing. This will be in the air for a while because I'll be doing carrier bearings in part two. Those will be a little tougher. So yeah, make sure that you're in a position where it's not gonna fall off the lift while you're working on it, because that's just gonna good, you don't want it. The headlight is pretty simple. All it is just these rubber straps and the assorted wires behind it. Those should be pretty easy to find, I would hope. Just take that off, set it to the side, get it out of the way. Doesn't need to be here. It's not gonna come back for a little while. Now you'll notice that they don't just unplug. If you have standard ones, you see how they have that little notch right up at two. You just push this down and turn counterclockwise and they'll just pop out. And that's how you just take that off, just so you're not fighting with a connection back here. It's up here underneath these boots. They'll be hidden out of the way so dirt doesn't get to them. Now keep in mind, these light bulbs are not held in by anything. They're just sitting there via gravity, so don't like flip the housing over like I just did earlier off camera. We're just gonna set this right here on the table next to my charging battery. That'll be for another project. Want to disconnect your brake caliper, you can just leave it hang, not a big deal. And then if you have this clamp here, you'll take these off. This should be all 12 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. Might be some 10s in there, I'm not 100% on that. Run into a bit of a snag. I have never actually disassembled the front end of this before, so this is all very new to me. The caliper, if you're ahead of me in the video, you might have noticed this already. The caliper knocks against the rim. So I'm thinking I'm gonna take these 3 nuts off of the rotor off, and maybe in doing that, I can move the rotor to move the caliper to get it off the rotor, to then take the wheel off. So we'll see if that works. And here we are with the calipers assembled. The janitor has joined us.
It's your boy, Eat That Pussy 445.
Yep, that's him. There goes the janitor. Fucking bitch. Now that you have disassembled thingamadoo, you're gonna wanna just take everything brake related off. So this whole lever, it's coming off. It's getting skedaddling, it's getting out of it. After that, we're gonna come to this side. These 4 hold your axle on. They are 8 millimeters, and this is a 17 millimeter. And you're gonna take this off, unthread the axle. It's threaded into this side right here. And then just take your axle out, drop your front wheel, and then it's on to the shocks themselves. All right, like I said earlier, now we're gonna drop the shocks. There's no weight in the front, so just go crazy, loosen the bolts, do whatever. That's fine. And then of course the front brake has got to come off as well. Yes, we can do that. Fucking bitch, get out of the way. Me. Now that you're at this point, it is time to remove the fender, put those away, and then we'll have to disassemble the triple tree, and we're gonna have to take the steering stem out and put it into those clamps. Handlebars obviously got to come off, just drape over the tank, and yeah. Now for this next part, you saw me kind of wiggling it off there. It was pretty corroded on there. We got it off with a little help from the hammer. This has to unscrew like so. Now Honda, if you're dealing with an OEM bearing kit in this, original, they're ball bearings and they're not held in by anything. So you take this off, what your balls are gonna fall over. So if you need to reuse the bearings, you need to keep all of those in attempt to redo it. I recommend just getting a new set of bearings. Of course, I am cheap and I'm not doing that, so we're just gonna see how this goes. Now at this point of the video, I'd kind of reached the limits of what I could do in my own garage, so I had to take the stock triple tree and the steering stem to my shop to have it pressed. We had to use a lot of heat, and yes, this is just a hydraulic press, crank operated. Had to get the old stem out because I did not buy. You can buy a new stem with the kit. I chose not to. This is us heating it up with a torch. And you want to press it, the way that we're pressing it here is the only way you can. There's a clip that it makes it so you can't press it the other way. Put the new one in, we put it in the freezer to shrink it. And then it was on to the new one. Like I said, has to go in a very specific way. You'll see that once it comes out. Be sure to heat the surface before you put it in with the steering stem cool. And we used some grease as well. That certainly helped, and cleaned the surface with some fine grade sandpaper, and it all snapped together really well. Fits wonderful. We even put the original Honda emblem sticker on, and then this is us rebuilding the bearings, or rather me rebuilding the bearings. There should be 18 balls in total when you do this. Make sure you use a lot of grease. All the balls should stay there because they're raceless, like I said earlier. They'll just fall out, so you want to use a lot of grease with that. Then had to empty out the brakes, take all the old fluid out. We used the stock line and the stock what am I trying to say here? Yeah, the master cylinder, stock line, stock master cylinder, and yeah, it was. Other than that, it was pretty easy. Everything went together pretty well. I didn't record a whole lot of it because we're kind of on a time crunch here with this, so I didn't want to weigh it down too much. But 100% worth doing. Handles 1,000 times better. It's a little tall. You'll definitely want to shorten the travel on the shocks. You can either add spacers or some other form of doing it. I'm not entirely sure on that. Probably be another video. But yeah, overall cost me about $1,300 total in parts. But again, 100% worth it. It's just handles better, looks better, and yeah, just was a I had a lot of fun doing it. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and stay tuned for part 2. See you next time.